Have you ever looked at a project that you're working on and just said, I don't really have the confidence to do this? I know I have. So today I want to talk about confidence. I want to talk about what it is and how to get it. My name is Seth. I'm a full-time fantasy author who makes YouTube videos. And if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to hit the like button on this video. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. It doesn't need to be said that confidence is incredibly important. Every high performer in the entire world is also very confident, which means that if we want to be high performers, we need confidence too. But how do we get it? Because it's also true that more often than not, most people aren't confident. I know that's true for me. When we're faced with new challenges, when we're faced with new tasks, often I balk at them because I'm just not confident that I can do them. In fact, I just finished a book in a genre that I've never written in before, and it was agonizing at times. There were points when I was writing this book where I looked at what I had written that day, and I just had no confidence that it was any good. I wasn't confident that people would actually like it, or that I could even deliver a good story in that genre. But through that whole process of writing a book in a genre I've never written in before, I learned something really interesting. See, confidence is not actually certainty that I'm going to be good at whatever it is that comes my way. Instead, confidence is the certainty that I can learn what I need to learn to be able to handle anything that comes my way. It's not automatically being good at something. Do you see the difference there? Because one of them, you say, I'm automatically good at this thing, or I'm going to be automatically good at this thing. I'm confident that I'll be automatically good at this thing. The other is saying, I know I probably won't be good at this thing, but that doesn't matter because I can learn what I need to learn in order to be good at it, or in order to deal with it. The first one, which is what most people think confidence is actually a false way of looking at reality because nobody is ever good at anything when they first start. Sure, you might be a little bit better than other people, but when Van Gogh first picked up a paintbrush, he couldn't paint a Van Gogh. That came with time. He got better. And maybe he was a better artist when he first picked up his brush than I am when I pick up a brush, but he still wasn't good at it. He still couldn't sell paintings for millions of dollars. So let's talk about how this mindset shift from confidence being I am good at this thing to confidence being I can learn anything I need to in order to be good at this thing. Let's talk about how that can impact our writing. Because at the end of the day, we're still going to have those moments where we're sitting there looking at our manuscript saying, man, I am just not confident in what I'm doing here. So when you're in that place, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions to get your mind back into the right frame of reference and to make sure that you can proceed confidently. The first question, and the most important question, is what do I actually need to learn in order to handle this task? So when I was writing this book that I wasn't very confident in, I had to go and study masters of the technique that I wanted to use. Maybe you're not confident in your dialogue. Great. Go and study dialogue. Maybe you're not confident with your pacing. There are a million resources out there that are going to teach you how to pace your novel depending on the genre that you're writing in. Maybe you're not sure if your plot is good enough. No problem. There are a ton of resources that are going to help you learn how to get a tight plot. I know that I preach that writing is the best way to get better at writing, and it's true, 100% true. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a break, taking a pause, and going to find a craft resource. And if you look at any professional author, you'll realize they've done the same thing. Their genius didn't just spring out of nowhere. They studied the craft. So ask yourself that question when you're not feeling confident. What do I need to learn in order to overcome this challenge? And then the second thing that you want to ask is, how many tries can I give myself before I quit? Because often when we look at a problem in front of us and we don't have confidence in being able to deal with it, it's because we think we only get one try. If I failed to write a good character, guess what I can do? I can go back and rewrite that character. In fact, that's exactly what happened. I wrote this book and I was done with it and I sent it off and then it came back and a couple of people were just like, man, some of those characters were just flat. I just really didn't click with the main character. He wasn't sympathetic at all. And so I went back and I fixed it. And I gave it to him again and they said, yeah, that's better. Great. I get more than one try. When we lock ourselves into this one try mentality, I have to be good the first time, we do ourselves such a disservice. But if we can grasp that we get more than one try, and if we can give ourselves permission to get more than one try, we'll be able to start generating that confidence. And then the final question that I want you to ask yourself is, what am I willing to give up in order to do this? What am I willing to sacrifice in order to deal with this thing in front of me? When I started writing, I didn't have any time. And I didn't have any time because I had a young family and I had a job that just required a lot of my day. And then I was also commuting almost an hour each way. And so my long days became even longer. And when I would get home, I wanted to hang out with my wife and my kids. And so I just didn't have any time to write. But I asked myself that question: what am I actually willing to give up in order to write? And for me, I was willing to give up sleep. I was willing to give up playing video games. I was willing to give up doing some of the things that I really love to do, some of the social events that I really loved to participate in. And I did that because I knew that it was just going to take time. And so I want you to ask yourself, when you're not confident, ask yourself, what am I willing to give up in order to be able to solve this problem? What am I willing to give up in order to learn what I need to learn to overcome this challenge in front of me? So if you can ask these 3 questions every time you don't feel confident, you're going to find that confidence will naturally come. Because think about it. If I'm facing a difficult challenge, let's say my manuscript isn't quite working, I don't understand the genre well enough, and so I'm really struggling to put the pieces in place to make it good. So I ask myself the questions: what do I need to learn? Maybe I need to learn more about plotting. Maybe I need to learn more about characters. Maybe I need to learn more about pacing inside of a scene, micro-pacing. Maybe I need to learn how to ratchet up the tension overall across the whole book. Then I ask myself, how many tries am I willing to give myself? How many times am I willing to attempt this? And then I ask myself, what am I willing to give up in order to make sure that those first 2 things happen? In order to make sure that I have enough tries to learn the thing I need to learn in order to succeed. So now I want to give you the secret. I want to give you the secret to give yourself unlimited confidence. I call it infinity. And this is just sort of a model that I've used in my own life, and it's worked incredibly well. It's the same 3 questions, but I operate on an assumption. And that assumption is that I stretch each of those questions out to infinity. Let me give you an example. If I'm writing a book and I'm not confident in it, how do I answer the first question? What do I need to learn? I say, I'm going to learn everything that I need to, no matter how long it takes, to make this awesome. What about the second question? I'm going to give myself an infinite number of tries to get this right. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 10, as many as I need in order to get this right. And what am I willing to sacrifice? I'm willing to sacrifice as much time as I need to. I'm willing to push my time horizon out as far as it needs to be. If I only have 5 minutes a day to commit to this, doesn't matter. I'll spend 2 years on it. I'll spend 3 years on it. I'll spend 5 years on it. I'm not going to stop until I've mastered it and I've learned what I need to. If you can say those 3 things, that I'm going to learn everything I need to learn in order to overcome this, and I have as many tries as I need in order to succeed here, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, I'm not giving up, you can't help but unlock unlimited confidence as you face the tasks in front of you. If this video was helpful, make sure you give it a good old thumbs up. Definitely leave me a comment down below letting me know what task that you are working on right now that you are going to apply this to. I'd love to cheer you on.